Tonight in 7 News, Collingwood faces up to bombshell findings of systemic racism, but Eddie Maguire rejects calls for him to quit now. Victorians stranded again, trapped in Perth as WA locks down to stop a dangerous hotel quarantine breach. The Prime Minister pushing to vaccinate every Australian by October as he declares big COVID spending is over. A mother of 2 killed in her home. She was 4 weeks pregnant. Bikie boss Toby Mitchell given a second chance after he attacked a homeless man only to be knocked out. And later, the COVID vaccine rollout. Your questions answered. A special medical report.
Live from Melbourne, 7 News with Peter Mitchell starts now.
Good evening. Eddie Maguire is rejecting calls to immediately stand down as Collingwood president after a damning report identified systemic racism within the club. Instead, he vowed to stay on to deal with the issue, declaring it a proud day for the club and saying the world will follow its example in tackling prejudice.
The bombshell report highlighted what is called systemic racism, but a president under pressure claimed it was a landmark day for his club.
I don't think there's any shame or any disappointment in what's going on here. As I said right from the outset, this is a day of pride.
Some critics told the Collingwood Review racism was so entrenched it appeared to be part of the club's DNA. What is clear is that racism at the club has resulted in profound and enduring harm to First Nations and African players. The racism affected them, their communities, and set dangerous norms for the public.
The whole world's looking into this. You either decide you're on the good side of this or you're not. No, we're on the good side of this.
The review has called for major changes from the top down in recruitment and club policies.
There is not a workplace in this country that should not be having this conversation.
Eddie Maguire's board received the report shortly before he announced this year would be his last after 33 in charge, but he won't go early.
What's happened on my watch is this. We have built a fantastic club. We have commissioned this report.
The report also highlights racist incidents involving the Pies, some dating back more than 50 years. They include the booing of Carlton champion Sid Jackson and the abuse of Saint Nicky Winmar by Pies fans. Heretia Lumumba, whose claims of racism at the club sparked the review, was not among the 30 people interviewed. Lumumba declined to take part in the review and has yet to see the report. He's suing Collingwood in the AFL for failing to provide a safe workplace due to racial abuse. The Pies have been urged to apologise to and even compensate victims of racism.
I've got great confidence in the club and what they're doing. I'm proud of this club and I love being a part of this club. We all evolve and we all learn more as time goes through.
The report's authors praised the club for initiating the review, describing it as a brave and unflinching step forward.
We went out of our way to hold the mirror up to ourselves, to go hard and hard and hard.
All the recommendations will be implemented.
And Cameron Bowe joins us now. Cameron, the AFL is going through this report now.
Mitch, the league believes now is the time for transparency, honesty and action when it comes to tackling racism. The league is reviewing that report. So what began with a sole focus on Collingwood may well provide positive change for the entire league and even beyond, Mitch.
Docklands, thank you. Hundreds of Victorians are again stranded interstate, trapped in Perth by a snap border closure. Officials have confirmed a hotel quarantine worker has the highly contagious UK strain of the virus, but so far it hasn't spread.
Empty streets, highways and beaches deserted. The only activity at testing stations. Perth is back in lockdown after a hotel quarantine guard contracted the highly infectious UK strain of COVID. But day one brought positive news.
Overnight, Western Australia has recorded no further local cases of COVID-19.
Still, Victoria has declared the affected areas red zones, meaning hundreds of Victorians already in Perth are now stuck there.
And no doubt about it, that is difficult, but by the same token, we need to ensure that we don't have another round.
One plane from Perth was in the air when the lockdown was announced.
I think we just dodged a bullet.
But along with 1,700 others who've arrived from Perth since January the 25th, he'll be contacted by health officials. They'll all have to be tested and isolate until they get the results. Victoria's now had 26 days without a local case here. Many had dared to hope the worst was over.
And it was always going to be kind of a safe bet, Perth, but now it's like maybe not such a good idea.
Just come out of Melbourne lockdown and now going into lockdown there.
But at least she'll know how to put on a mask, unlike the WA Premier. He's now announced a full review of the hotel quarantine scheme, and a police investigation is also underway.
We will leave no stone unturned to ensure we find out exactly what happened to prevent it from happening again.
And after another round of panic buying, major supermarkets have imposed shopping limits.
Don't panic buy. There's no need for you to panic buy.
Elsewhere, though, relief, as Queensland finally removed the checkpoints on its New South Wales borders.
We're old hands at this. This is the third time we've done it.
And with the COVID situation so volatile, no one is ruling out a fourth.
And Laurel Irving, hopefully this border closure will be short-lived.
Well, Mitch, at this stage, Perth's lockdown is due to end on Friday, and coincidentally, that's the same day Victorians will be allowed to go into WA without having to quarantine for 14 days. So there is hope the border chaos will soon ease. But as we've seen repeatedly in recent weeks, that COVID situation can also change very quickly. Mitch.
Laurel Irving at Tullamarine, thank you. The Prime Minister's pledged to protect all Australians, promising more money for the vaccine rollout, but warning support payments must end. He's revealed his vision for the year ahead as the new border restrictions threaten to disrupt tomorrow's return of federal parliament.
Arriving in Canberra from Perth, MPs from the West are immediately separated from the rest.
We are all going to our accommodation wearing masks and isolating until we get further information.
That information, special exemptions to join Parliament's opening tomorrow if they test negative today.
We cannot be too careful around these new strains.
Scott Morrison devoting another $1.9 billion to start the vaccine rollout this month.
Our aim is to offer all Australians the opportunity to be vaccinated by October of this year.
Where are they?
Anthony Albanese asking why the Pfizer vaccine approved a week ago isn't already being administered.
It's gone through all its processes. We have full faith in the TGA. It should have been rolled out immediately.
Supplies are expected to arrive in a week, but batch testing will take another 2, as the Prime Minister confirms he won't extend JobKeeper beyond next month.
You can't run the Australian economy on taxpayers' money forever.
And if companies that funnel JobKeeper payments into executive bonuses and dividends want to pay it back...
Great, good for them.
But says he won't force them to.
I'm not into the politics of envy, Mark.
If these were social security recipients, the government would be chasing them.
And firming his line on climate change, Scott Morrison says reaching net zero emissions by 2050 remains his goal. But hitting that target before then is now his preference. But through technology, not taxes.
I'm not putting on a carbon tax, and I'm not putting up the GST.
Something to reflect upon at the War Memorial's last post ceremony. Mark Riley, 7 News.
The body of a young woman has been recovered at Altona Beach. Police divers and search crews have been looking for the snorkeler since she disappeared on Saturday. They found the 20-year-old Ashwood woman's body off Altona Pier this morning. And a man is in custody over the death of his partner in Geelong. She was a mother of 2 with a 3rd child on the way.
Baby's clothing left out on the washing line at the home where mother of 2, Michelle Norris, was found with critical injuries. The 40-year-old was 4 weeks pregnant with her 3rd child.
A bit of an argument here yesterday afternoon. But yeah, that's about it.
Paramedics tried to resuscitate her, but she'd been badly beaten. There was little they could do. Ms Norris's partner and father of her unborn child, Tim O'Shaughnessy, was arrested outside their East Geelong unit.
Yeah, I knew Michelle. She's just an innocent girl. She wasn't. She might have caused a little bit of trouble here and there, but she wasn't a troublemaker.
It's believed police had been called to the property several times in recent weeks.
It's shaken me up a little bit. Me and my daughter last night, hearing all the commotion and stuff like that.
Shocked neighbours have told 7 News they heard the couple fighting late yesterday afternoon, but it wasn't unusual to hear yelling from the property.
It's quite sad, right next to my door. Yeah, it is. It's quite sad.
Cassie Zervos, 7 News.
A bushfire raging in 38-degree heat is threatening lives and destroying homes on the outskirts of Perth. Residents have been told any attempt to escape could prove deadly and they should try to shelter in place. Some of Australia's biggest media companies have pleaded guilty to breaching a suppression order in George Pell's trial. Organisations including Channel 9 and its newspapers and Sydney radio station 2GB admitted to publishing details of the case that were banned. Prosecutors have agreed to drop charges against individual journalists. The organisations could be fined millions of dollars. Mass protests and mass arrests have gripped Russia as Vladimir Putin's government faces increasing opposition on the streets. More than 5,000 people were detained across dozens of cities, with the man who sparked the demonstrations facing trial this week.
In heavy snow, it looked like a game. It was anything but, as police chased down protesters, detaining thousands. It was rough and at times blatantly violent as the Russian state cracked down on dissenting voices. A second weekend of mass protests across 85 cities met with a show of force by Vladimir Putin's government, facing the biggest internal threat to its grip on power in years. He will threaten war just to keep his throne, this man's sign says. Down with the Tsar, they chanted in St. Petersburg, Putin's birthplace. Police at times picked out people standing on street corners for arrest. I want to live in a normal country where our rights are protected, that's all, this woman says. In Vladivostok, protesters tried to avoid police by dancing on a frozen river. Opposition leader Alexei Navalny remains in jail. He'll face separate court hearings this week, including charges of defamation 6 months after an assassination attempt the West blames on the Kremlin. Toilet brushes have become a symbol of the protest. Navalny claims those belonging to Putin are worth hundreds of dollars. In London, Hugh Whitfeld, 7 News.
British charity hero Captain Tom Moore has been diagnosed with COVID-19 at the age of 100. Sir Tom was knighted for his efforts on behalf of health workers. Now those doctors and nurses are doing all they can to save him.
Captain Sir Tom Moore is a hero of the latest Battle of Britain, a war veteran who raised nearly $60 million for the National Health Service. Now 100 years old, struck down by the very disease he was fighting, COVID-19. Already treated for pneumonia, he tested positive last week and was admitted to hospital in Bedford, north of London, on Sunday. His daughter Hannah said he was at home with us until today, when he needed additional help with his breathing. He's being treated in a ward, although he is not in ICU. Despite Sir Tom's age, he had not had a COVID vaccination because of his pneumonia. Boris Johnson led the well-wishers, tweeting, "You have inspired the whole nation, and I know we are all wishing you a full recovery." Captain Tom came to notice last year when he vowed to walk 100 laps of his garden to raise funds for the NHS. His goal, a couple of $1,000, soon eclipsed. By his 100th birthday, he'd raised $57 million.
It's unbelievable that people are so kind throughout the world.
Captain Tom was knighted by the Queen at Windsor in July.
What more can anyone wish for than that?
Good health, perhaps. He already has the adoration of a nation. Mike Amor, 7 News.
Good luck, Sir Tom. Police are now investigating a nightclub incident involving Richmond Premiership player Liam Baker. They were called to the Osborne Rooftop Bar in South Yarra early on Sunday morning. It's believed a woman attacked Baker with capsicum spray after an argument. The superstars of world tennis are enjoying life in COVID-free Melbourne after completing hotel quarantine. A week before the delayed Australian Open, Greek world number 6 Stefanos Tsitsipas has revealed his rollercoaster lockdown ride.
After 14 days of hotel quarantine, this was the taste of freedom for Greek superstar Stefanos Tsitsipas.
1, 2, 3, cheers! Oh my God, I was really craving for the Tsitsipas Souvlaki during but they weren't allowed to bring it in.
Tsitsipas says lockdown wasn't easy, and at times he battled depression.
It's crazy how quick time passes.
But it was necessary.
I think I'm in a good shape, and I'm really excited for some good quality tennis this year.
Almost 1 in 5 Melburnians come from Greek heritage, and the 22-year-old says this is his home away from home.
I get to hang out with a lot of Greeks when I'm in Melbourne, so it kind of has this very warm, just like pleasant atmosphere whenever I'm here.
With a throng of passionate Greek Australians behind him. 2 years ago, Tsitsipas produced his best Grand Slam performance, defeating Roger Federer before making the Australian Open semi-final.
Many great things happened that week. I received so much crowd support.
A new star is born tonight on Rod Laver Arena. You're watching the changing the guard.
I was just in such a good state of mind, and my tennis worked perfectly.
Stefanos will team up with his little brother Petros and lead the Greeks into battle against the Australians and the Spaniards in the ATP Cup later this week. All proceeds from the Tsitsipas Souvlaki will be donated to COVID-19 relief. And Aussie world number 1 Ash Barty has ramped up her preparations ahead of her first official hit-out in 11 months tomorrow. Sean Sowerby, 7 News.
The AFLW season is in chaos tonight. Tim Watson is here, and Tim, this could be a sign of things to come for the AFL this year.
That's right, Mitch. Things can change quickly. Border closures have forced the league's hand. Chief Football reporter Mark Stevens has the details, and Steve-O, 4 clubs won't be playing this weekend.
Tim, at this stage, no, the AFL working on Plan B tonight, but certainly 4 teams and 2 games in effect in limbo in the AFLW season. Fremantle and West Coast can't train at all in Perth. Adelaide and GWS, the 2 teams who played in WA, they've been hit really hard. Adelaide's back home, but has been forced into a 14-day isolation. GWS now back in New South Wales, but must sit out at least 5 days under government rules. So certainly messy at the moment in AFLW. Maybe a sign of things to come in the AFL as well. But the AFL tonight saying the AFLW season, they will definitely get it done this year, Tim.
Thanks, Steve-O. Also, a head injury has forced a troubled Aussie out of action this week at Melbourne Park. I'll see you again soon, Mitch.
Thank you, Tim. Catch you then. Bikie boss Toby Mitchell has had a big win in court. Next, he attacked a homeless man, but he's been given a second chance. Also, Victoria's new world-first cladding laws to prevent high-rise infernos. America's big chill causes chaos, but not everyone's complaining. The little dog who survived a leap of faith at a roundabout. And later, why an apple a day might not be so healthy for your family food budget.
One small putt for man, one giant leap for Putt-Kai. We are about to see something that's never been seen before on Australian television.
The incredibly successful #1 rating smash hit.
Oh! Light him up! Oh my God! Oh! This is Holy Moly!
Extreme Family Fun starts tonight, 7:30 on 7.
When it comes to being green, we do our best. She'll bring it one day. 4 stars, but only 4 things. You've got this. Almost. Too much of a good thing? Nobody's 100% perfect, but at least your power can be 100% carbon neutral. Join Power Shop for power you can be proud of.
Introducing Light and Easy's new Jumpstart Plus. Jumpstart Plus combines the proven weight loss results of intermittent eating with Light and Easy's delicious summer menu, plus a new app to track your success and help you achieve your goals.
Every week I've consistently lost weight, and the new Jumpstart program really kick-started that for me.
Light and Easy made it pretty easy for me to lose it. I didn't have to think about it. The weight just kept dropping off.
Fast track your weight loss success in 2021 with Light and Easy's new Jumpstart Plus. Jump online today.
Calculating route. Continue straight. Return to route.
I don't know if you heard. Did you hear that?
Take first exit.
I think it wants us to take this exit, and there it goes.
Take any exit. Continue straight. 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 Oh, come on.
Turn on the fun with Toyota Corolla. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
Your spare pair. Your new style of hair pair. The flying through the air pair. We could all use a second pair. At Specsavers, get 2 designer pairs, no gap, from the $199 single vision range when you're with selected health funds.
Dare to fit an old favourite? You have goals. Fat Blaster helps you reach them faster. High protein, low sugar shakes satisfy hunger so you get results. Be the you want to see with Fat Blaster.
Duck Fresh Discs, now exploding with fragrance.
Well, it does smell quite nice. With new odour-neutralising technology, it fights stains and freshens flush after flush. Look, it's not rocket science, it's duck science.
SC Johnson. Introducing Light and Easy's new Jumpstart Plus. Jumpstart Plus combines the proven weight loss results of intermittent eating with Light and Easy's delicious summer menu, plus a new app to track your success and help you achieve your goals. Jump online today.
Bikie boss Toby Mitchell has been ordered to undertake anger management after being given a second chance by a court over a violent street brawl. Mitchell pleaded guilty but has avoided jail for the attack, which saw the Mongols' leader knocked out by a homeless man.
A bikie enforcer and former boxer meets his match. This is the round Toby Mitchell didn't want the public to see. He might have thrown the first punch and then some uppercuts to the victim as he crouches over, but is swiftly laid out by the homeless man. The 44-year-old is lifted to his feet by friends and stumbles away from the brawl along South Bank. Prosecutors described the president of the Mongols' outlaw motorcycle gang as being out for blood. He was also out on bail for a separate drunken fight outside a South Yarra cafe a month earlier, where he whacked a man 3 times, taking a tumble himself during the attack on a former friend. After pleading guilty to 2 assaults, Mitchell was preparing for the possibility he could have been handed a prison sentence today, enjoying send-off drinks and getting ready to go back inside. But the magistrate handed him a second chance. His sentence deferred while he's ordered to spend the next 6 months undergoing alcohol counselling and an anger management course. Would you say you have an anger problem? Toby Mitchell can also enjoy further freedoms after his bail conditions were relaxed. His 8 p.m. curfew has been lifted and he can now get together with his Mongols bikie mates again. The bikie boss knocked down but not out. Jade Vincent, 7 News.
A truck has hit an overpass, creating an evening peak headache in Flemington. The truck and shipping container struck the side of the rail bridge near the Racecourse Road exit for CityLink. Builders risk fines of up to $400,000 in a new cladding crackdown. 2 types of flammable cladding are banned from today, tightening previous guidelines. It comes after 2 city fires led to the discovery of dangerous products on hundreds of buildings.
So we have 640 buildings that have been identified by the regulator as being of high risk.
Only 72 of the properties have rectification underway. More than 100 million Americans are under a winter weather warning tonight from a slow-moving storm that's crossed the entire country. Snow and high winds are leading to blizzard conditions and power blackouts.
In any other winter, it's just another snow fight. But for a city under guard for weeks, starting the year engulfed in violence, this was a welcome war on the national mall. Celebrating the biggest snowfall in Washington in 2 years. Army cadets taking aim in Virginia. The DC Zoo transformed into a winter playground, a pristine snowfall blanketing the Biden White House. For some Chicago locals confined to their homes for months in the pandemic, freedom.
Main Street of Chicago! Let's go!
In a city frozen over. A pair of brave kayakers hit the Chicago River. Lake Michigan churned with chunks of ice. Outdoor dining was halted, so too the traffic.
Good luck, buddy.
As the winter storm Orlena barreled through the Midwest towards New York.
This is
not a storm to underestimate. Take it seriously. This is a dangerous storm.
In the United States, Ashley Mullaney, 7 News.
Back home, and here's a lesson in the dangers of having dogs unrestrained in the back seat. A dog has climbed through an open window as the car travelled around a Berwick roundabout. Thankfully, it wasn't hurt when it hit the ground. The driver was quick to stop and rescue the dog that simply wagged its tail and rolled over for a pat. Jane Bunn joins us now. And Jane, the last month of summer has started somewhat cool, hasn't it?
It has indeed, Mitch. Our La Nina summer is running cool overall, and today was no exception. We only reached a top of 20 in the city. In February, we averaged 26 during the day and 15 overnight. The average rain adds up to 48 millimetres. But with the tropical moisture that La Nina brings, we expect days to be cooler overall and rainfall to be higher. This follows our coolest January in 17 years as La Nina makes it harder to get extreme heat days. We didn't reach 40 in the last month. But if we look at the past 50 years, we see that overall our January days are getting warmer. This year is an anomaly. Tomorrow brings another cool day, but there are a few warmer ones on the horizon. I'll have the full forecast after sport, Mitch.
Thank you, Jane. See you then. Early predictions of a house price plummet couldn't have been more wrong as they defy the pandemic. Next, where prices are soaring and the insider's prediction of what comes next. Also saying sorry, an apology in court from the man who had a McDonald's meltdown. Leaders detained, communication shut down, a military coup unfolding in Myanmar. And turning the classroom into a circus to help children cope with COVID.
7 News brought to you by Officeworks.
On average, parents are saving 25% on their school list prices with Officeworks. So you'll have something left for you.
Mine?
Mine. With low prices and great savings, it's the best back to school ever at Officeworks.
Get away from the water! Get away from the water!
911, what is your emergency?
The dam broke. Help!
911, the mudslide. Tonight after Holy Moly on 7.
Flavor you can smash. Flavor you can thrash. Flavor just for me. Flavor you can see. Shapes.
New Shapes Triple Cheese Toasty.
When adventure calls, the spirited traveller answers. Set sail with Spirit of Tasmania and make Tassie yours to explore. Book online. Be a spirited traveller.
Save up to 15% on your first year's premium when you get a new Allianz comprehensive car insurance policy online. Allianz, supporting Australians for over 100 years, no matter the weather. Search for a quote today.
The Nick Army January sale, extended for 1 week only. Save up to 50% off a huge range of quality furniture. The Nick Army January sale must end Sunday.
Introducing the new Jumpstart Plus. Light and Easy's Jumpstart weight loss program now comes with a bonus app to help you achieve your goals sooner.
Every week I've consistently lost weight and the new Jumpstart program really kick-started that for me.
Jump online today.
Going back to school can be very different for the 1 in 6 Australian children living in poverty. Billy feels like no matter what he does, he'll never fit in. You can sponsor an Australian child today and help give them the school essentials they urgently need. Search the Smith family.
Your ERP and database vendors may not want you to know who we are. Maybe it's because we've supported over 3,000 Oracle and SAP clients. Maybe it's because we've saved those clients billions of dollars. Because we're a global partner you can trust. A partner who can significantly cut your support costs and help you innovate, drive growth. It's time to expect more. Other companies do software. We do support. Ramini Street.
Watch as these Brits take recycling to the extreme.
It's just bonkers.
Brand new restoration workshop tonight on Mate.
House prices across the country continue to defy pandemic pressure, reaching record highs. Values increased in all capital cities last month and regional areas surged, buoyed by Australians working from home.
This Western Sydney home has belonged to the same family since it was built in 1954.
So one of the highlights of the property is this great family room.
Back when you could buy a local three-bedder for just $7,000. This weekend it's going to auction with a price guide of $850,000.
The family's decided that it is time to sell and hopefully the new family love it just as much as the previous one.
Last month house prices hit a fresh record high, up 0.9%. Every capital city recorded gains. Darwin leading the pack, up 2.3%, followed by Perth and Hobart, Canberra, Brisbane and Adelaide. Sydney and Melbourne had more modest increases, up 0.4%. But similar to last year, it was the region steaming ahead, prices rising at more than double the pace of the cities, thanks to more people working from home.
As well as people seeking more lifestyle, affordability, lower density.
Rock bottom interest rates, an ongoing shortage of homes for sale and steadily increasing demand from buyers have led to predictions that house prices will rise even further this year.
Overall, it seems that there are more tailwinds for growth in the market at the moment than headwinds.
Buyers are here with confidence. Vendors want a good result, and it's a good time to be selling and buying real estate.
Gemma Acton, 7 News.
A McDonald's customer has been ordered to get help for anger management issues after a violent meltdown last month. Jake Cinderberry smashed a cash register when asked to sign in with a QR code. Today he apologised, admitting he has a problem with alcohol and a bad temper. A report into the fitness of Crown Resorts to hold a gaming licence for its new Barangaroo casino should be made public within a fortnight. It's been handed to the New South Wales Liquor and Gaming Authority for consideration. The inquiry heard claims Crown has turned a blind eye to money laundering. The government in Myanmar has been overthrown in a military coup. The country's leader, Aung San Suu Kyi, was detained along with other senior figures in early morning raids. Communication has been widely shut down, but the military-run TV channel broadcast a message saying it's declared a state of emergency and taken control for the next year. People are now queuing for food and basics, fearing what comes next. Donald Trump has named a new legal team just a week before his second impeachment trial. He parted ways with 5 attorneys over strategy issues and says his new lawyers have national profiles. One, David Schoen, had met with billionaire pedophile Jeffrey Epstein before his death. The second, Bruce Castor Jr., famously declined to prosecute Bill Cosby when he was Pennsylvania's district attorney. A new schools program is trying a different way to boost children's mental health as they battle disruptions caused by COVID. It's also giving much-needed work to artists and performers who are sharing their skills with students.
This is what's been missing from learning in lockdown. Face-to-face fun, teaching valuable lessons of connection.
I was so pumped about going back to school and not being online.
I really hated it because I didn't see my friends. It was much harder to learn as well.
Now a new government program is bringing artists into classrooms to lift students' spirits.
They're going to bring a lot of juggling, a lot of circus, a lot of dancing, a lot of fun.
We know that learning is such a social enterprise, and so therefore not being able to connect with each other had a big impact on our students' mental health.
As a bonus, the initiative provides work for performers who lost their jobs during the pandemic.
During last year, which was really hard for both creatives and school communities, having this boost of funding and energy to have this collaborative project is really exciting.
What a wonderful thing it would be if that work could be restored and matched up with school curriculum.
The program will hire 100 creatives on 6-month contracts at 100 schools, from poets, podcasters and puppeteers to musicians, filmmakers and fashion designers.
An investment in the arts is one of the greatest the greatest ways that you can really support a community.
It's bringing a fun side to learning.
Georgia Commons-Solly, 7 News.
Still to come tonight, answering your COVID vaccine questions. Everything you need to know before it's rolled out in Australia. A special 7 News health report is coming up. Also, the hunt for the hoons responsible for a haunting incident in the Bourke Street Mall. Frozen heading to a stage in Melbourne. How to secure a ticket. And the perfect storm pushing up the price of apples. That's coming up after sport.
I would just fly. Wake up, get up, it's a beautiful morning. Wake up, get up, it's a beautiful day. Wake up, get up, it's a beautiful morning. Shining bright for you and me.
There'll be toasties in Toowoomba, morning tea in Broome, square cuts in Albury and triangles in Wodonga. And there'll be lunch on warm afternoons near Mudgee. Because Tip Top bakes every day with Australian wheat. And it's not going to cut itself.
What is the spirit of Australian women? Proud, honest, courageous, fun, loving, creative, and strong. Each month, our journalists bring you the truth about what inspires and what's important to Australian women. And this month's no different, because we are Australian. We are the Australian Women's Weekly.
For me, the intensity starts early and keeps building. It can be full on. The heat, the orders, the pressure from the boss. For tough pain relief, my go-to is Panadol Extra. Because if I don't, with my migraine headaches, I'm kind of useless in the kitchen. And I don't want to let the crew down.
Service?
I really love these guys. And it's good to know you can still help out the people who need you.
That's it.
Together, let's rethink care.
Oh, reminds me. Better book in for a service. Glad I got Cap Price servicing. Where is it? I'm still feeling it.
Get the new Hilux 4x4 SR5 with free on-roads. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
Invest with Latrobe Financial, Australia's multi-award-winning wealth manager, returning a current variable rate of 4.35% per annum reviewed monthly on a 12-month investment. Make your money work harder for you. Call 138010.
We've been assured the first delivery of the coronavirus vaccine should arrive in Australia by the end of the month. Estelle Griepink is tracking developments, and Estelle, there are still plenty of questions about how all this is going to be rolled out.
Well, Mitch, it's important to note that the vaccine will be free and voluntary, and Australia will actually be one of the last nations to get the jab. 23 million people have already received the vaccine in the US.
It's been a race against time to develop a coronavirus vaccine. The next challenge is getting it here. The Pfizer jab needs to be kept at -70 degrees.
It is GPS tracked, it is temperature tracked, so it allows us to know the exact temperature of the vaccine from every moment from when it leaves our site all the way through to when it arrives at the place of where the vaccine's administered.
So just how many doses will arrive on our shores and when? There'll be enough Pfizer vaccines for 5 million Australians, and they'll be rolled out this month, assuming the European Union doesn't block exports. More than 1 million AstraZeneca shots should be available from March, with more than 50 million doses to follow.
What we do is we send a message or the instructions to create a small part of the virus, not infectious, it doesn't cause disease, but by doing that, the body manufactures that itself and then it mounts its own immune response.
So what happens once the vaccines arrive? They'll be administered at hospitals, clinics, pharmacies and GPs. It's expected an average GP can vaccinate 30 people a day, while a mass vaccination clinic can administer the jab to at least 100 people a day.
You'll be asked to sit and wait for about 15 minutes afterwards so we can ensure your safety. And then in the back rooms, we'll be recording all of the data that the government require us to do.
One of the biggest questions, is it safe? The TGA says it only approves vaccines when there's enough evidence that they are, but experts are unsure about pregnant women. At this stage, it's not known how long immunity from the virus will last for, so we may need to book in for a jab every year. Estelle Greepink, 7 News.
When a car sped through the Bourke Street Mall last week, police were confident of making arrests. But 4 days on, the 2 men who were in the car remain on the run. One of the men leapt out of the vehicle before the driver took off down the pedestrian mall, terrifying shoppers. The car was found, but the hunt continues for the pair. A young boy has stumbled upon a live grenade in a family park in Brisbane. His parents called police, who brought in the army to detonate the explosive. A magnet lifted out the weapon, believed to date back to World War I. Travel companies are still doing it tough in the pandemic. Network finance editor Gemma Acton has the details.
Thank you. Well, after a sluggish start which saw Aussie shares fall far and fast, the ASX 200 staged a remarkable comeback around lunchtime to finish the day comfortably higher, up 55 points at 6,663. Today's top performers were healthcare companies. Blackmores up almost 9% and Mesoblast up more than 5%. Several travel stocks, however, including Flight Centre and Webjet, fell, hit by the Perth lockdown. The Aussie dollar also recovered from a weak start to edge higher to 76.5 US cents, while new home loans hit a new all-time high in December, with $26 billion worth approved by lenders, helped by record low rates and government incentives.
Gemma Acton reporting. One of the world's most popular children's films, Frozen, is coming to a Melbourne stage. Fans will be able to let it go with sisters Elsa and Anna at Her Majesty's Theatre from June. Tickets go on sale next month, but anyone interested can sign up to an online waiting list. Sport is next with Tim Watson. And Tim, it wasn't just a tough day off the field for the Magpies today.
No, Mitch, it hasn't been a great day for your Pies. A fresh injury could see a young star sidelined for a lengthy period. Details ahead. Keen eyes too on the Bombers and their captain, Dyson Heppel, while a D's star is on the mend from surgery. Daria Gavrilova gets a harsh lesson from the world's best, while a troubled Aussie chooses basketball over tennis. The Thunder caught with their pants down as Brisbane turn up the heat in the finals. And Scotty James back in action, chasing a 3rd straight gold in the half-pipe.
What sort of a distraction is behind this wall? What is behind the wall?
I'd be disappointed if it wasn't Beyonce.
You're gonna miss!
Honestly, how can you concentrate?
Holy moly!
Starts tonight, 7:30 on 7.
Food is what connects us. It's the heart of Aussie life. That's why YouFood supports local Aussie growers and is proudly Australian owned. Their chef-inspired, ready-made meals are created with the freshest of ingredients. Quick, delicious, and delivered to your door nationwide. There's a wide menu to choose from, catering to all your health goals. So when you buy YouFoods, you'll be supporting local growers, families, and communities. YouFoods, it's healthy eating made easy.
We've been your Sunday drive, your taxi, your home away from home. We've shared your journey. Now with Mazda Assured, the journey continues. With a guaranteed future value, you can enjoy a new Mazda more often. Search Mazda Assured today.
The Nick Scali January sale, extended for 1 week only. Save up to 50% off a huge range of quality furniture. The Nick Scali January sale must end Sunday.
In Queensland, it's time to explore like never before. Enjoy a reef and rainforest escape in Cairns and Tala Beach, 7 nights from just $1,699 per person twin share. Book now at vivaholidays.com.au.
At Carpet Call, we've got new shipments of rugs to clear from our warehouses. Choose one of our latest design fashion rugs and take 50% off the ticketed price on our website. Jump onto carpetcall.com.au now for 50% off rugs.
We're announcing something big. The big deal is now on at Mazda, and we're putting value on 2020 plate vehicles front and centre, like CX-5 Max from $32,990 drive away. Search Mazda offers today.
Pretty soon, the amount of super paid on top of our wages will go up. And up. And up. And up. All the way to 12% guaranteed. That extra money will make a big difference when I retire. Put my feet up. You see, your future is even more super.
This Sport Report brought to you by Industry Super Funds.
Welcome back. Bernard Tomic may have hit the basketball court at his hotel today, but he's now withdrawn from his only Australian Open warm-up event, citing a knee injury. It's a different story, though, for Ash Barty, who's flying and will ramp up her preparations on court tomorrow.
She sat out most of 2020, but life's good when you're world number one. A relaxed Ash Barty on centre court as she begins to ramp things up at Melbourne Park. The Aussie throwing back to her WBBL days with a cricket bat as part of her warm-up routine. Barty herself has looked to temper expectations leading into the Australian Open. Tomorrow will be her first competitive singles match since February last year. Barty could meet Serena Williams later this week if all things go well. The 39-year-old's power game as strong as ever heading into her 20th Australian Open.
Oh, it's lovely to watch.
Stunning tennis.
Serena too good for Aussie Daria Gavrilova with a straight sets win in the opening round of the Yarra Valley Classic WTA event. Out of quarantine, Bernard Tomic preferred the basketball court over the tennis court this morning. But just a few hours later, Tomic pulled out of his scheduled match tonight, citing a knee injury. After flying in from Adelaide, Novak Djokovic enjoyed catching up with some familiar faces. The Joker kicks off Serbia's ATP Cup charge tomorrow at Melbourne Park. Likewise, Rafa Nadal for Spain, who faces off against Aussie Alex de Minaur. Andrew McCormack, 7 News.
The racism row isn't the only trouble at Collingwood tonight, with fresh injury concerns. It comes as the evergreen Todd Goldstein shows no signs of slowing down.
At the age of 32, Todd Goldstein doesn't mind being called Pops.
I'm really enjoying it. It's you know, I think Bailey Scott's called me Dad a few times.
The list refresh at Arden Street revitalising the ruck star.
For me, it's really exciting to work with these young kids, and I couldn't be more impressed with the draftees that have come in and the way they listen, they want to ask questions and want to learn.
And there's no thought of tempering expectations.
I think the footy over the last 5 years has shown us that it's silly to put a ceiling on what you can and can't achieve. And I think, look at Richmond, I reckon anyone would have seen that coming. So, you never know.
Melbourne hit the track at Casey. Vice-captain Jack Viney worked in the gym, staying off his legs after minor foot surgery. The American Pie Mason Cox in good spirits at Collingwood.
G'day. Hi, Mum.
But he did his work off to the side with his ruck cohort Brodie Grundy. Gun draftee Reef McInnes suffering a finger injury. The Essendon faithful looked on as new coach Ben Rutten was in charge at the Bombers. Dyson Heppell looks to have shaken off his injury woes, preparing for a defensive role. Tom Hurd, son of James, also busy down back in match simulation. A club doco giving an insight into Rutten's themes.
We are looking to create a really strong learning environment. Be inquisitive, explore, challenge yourself. We're going to drive a really disciplined, hard-working, fun, caring program.
Lance Franklin's been set back for a week with a minor calf injury. Mark Stevens, 7 News.
The Brisbane Heat are one win away from a spot in the Big Bash final as the Thunder had their pants pulled down. Although controversy once again marred the match, with Usman Khawaja given not out and the Heat unable to review given there's no DRS. Sam Haslett dragged the Heat over the line for a 7-wicket win with a career best knock of 74.
They do it in style. Brilliant performance from Haslett.
They'll face the Scorchers on Thursday night in Canberra after Perth lost their home ground advantage due to the COVID lockdown. A 15-day break hasn't done Melbourne City any favours. Star striker Jamie McLaren pounced on a deflection to level scores against Perth Glory last night, but City weren't able to hold on in a 3-1 loss.
Again, and the header, D'Agostino!
I thought we were flat for pretty much, not all the game, but flat enough that I thought we should have done better.
Meanwhile, Liverpool is back to within 4 points of Premier leaders Manchester City as the reigning champs beat West Ham 3-1. Chelsea defeated Burnley 2-0 to give new manager Thomas Tuchel his first win. Another cheating scandal didn't stop golf's bad boy Patrick Reed from streeting the field at the Farmers Insurance Open. Reed denied taking illegal relief for an embedded ball during yesterday's third round.
You rely on whether it's volunteers, your other opponents, and the rules officials to make the right calls, and we felt like we did that.
The 2018 Masters champion went on to capture his 9th PGA Tour title by 5 shots. Adam Scott faded to finish tied for 10th. Scotty James came up agonisingly short in his quest for a 3rd straight gold medal at the X Games in Aspen. The 26-year-old Melburnian had to come from behind in the snowboard superpint final, and it all came down to Scotty's final run.
Does he have a 14? Yes, he does! I see your bluff and I raise you. Scotty James has gone all in.
That brilliant effort wasn't enough to snatch the gold from Japan's Yuto Totsukas. James had to settle for a silver medal. Mitch, not a great day for your pies. Hopefully tomorrow, well, the sun will come up again. Well, I'm just throwing it back out to you.
I prefer to talk about Scotty James.
OK, all right.
Thank you very much, Tim. Our wet summer is being blamed for price roulette in the fruit and vegetable aisle. The cost of some apples has almost doubled, but there's every chance what's expensive this week will be cheap the next.
It's becoming harder to budget for the weekly shop as fruit and vegetable prices vary wildly.
A lot of prices are coming really cheap on certain products, and certain products are expensive.
The shortage of pickers caused by COVID is contributing, but the weather is the driving factor.
Weather is the biggest contributor to what happens in our industry. So if we have a lot of rain, it affects a lot of product.
We had a really hot early summer and then a really wet late summer, so the crops were down a little bit on normal.
Currently, apples are through the roof. Pink Ladies around $7.50 a kilo, while Royal Galas are just under $6. Ginger has tripled, but a huge supply of tomatoes and cauliflower have seen their price plummet.
3 or 4 weeks ago, there was nothing getting harvested, so the prices went really high, and then so that reflects into the stores, so the demand drops, then all of a sudden all the crops start getting harvested again, and the prices have come way back.
In a bid to prevent the price hikes, some grocers will look to import fruit and vegetables, but farmers are urging customers to buy local Australian produce.
Some other countries don't have those laws. They don't have the scrutiny that's applied to Australian growers, so I'd encourage them to think twice about buying an imported product.
Everyone needs to get out there and support basically all your fruit shops, all your independents.
Tegan Dolling, 7 News.
Jane is next with the forecast, and Jane, another cool one tomorrow.
That is it indeed, Mitch, but soon it'll warm back up again. Thursday is the pick of the week. The details are next.
$90,000 to give away.
Thank you, Cash Cow.
Could you be next to win big on Sunrise tomorrow?
Dare to fit an old favourite? You have goals. Fat Blaster helps you reach them faster.
Fat Blaster's delicious weight loss shakes are high in protein, low in sugar, satisfying hunger so you get results. As part of our easy weight loss program, Fat Blaster helps you reach your goals faster. Summer, party or post-bub. Whatever your weight loss goals, be the you want to see with Fat Blaster.
The all-new GWM Ute is up for the challenge. Born tough and built smart to give you more. More features, reliability, comfort and safety for less. The all-new GWM Ute. Go with more.
Who could have known that extra love could add extra pounds? That all those accidents could have a medical explanation? Or that the smallest changes could make the biggest impact? You did, and so did we. That's why Hills always starts with a pet's biology to anticipate their ever-changing nutritional needs for differences you can see, feel, and trust. So you're always a step ahead.
A lot of us are spending more time at home, using a lot more electricity and internet. Unfortunately, iSelect can't help with your naked partner walking past your big presentation, but we could help shrink those household bills. Now's the time to compare, select and save with iSelect on 13/19/20.
Things are a little different these days. There's a little more time to dream a little, learn a little, love a little. Why not bring a little luxury into your life? Because it's the little things that make a big difference.
Unlike other modems, Telstra's smart modem is cleverly backed up by Australia's best 4G network. So if the connection to your house stops, your home Wi-Fi won't. Switch today to experience Australia's most reliable home Wi-Fi with the Telstra Smart Modem.
I'm borrowing a car.
Introducing the new Lexus IS. With enhanced precision and control, you'll always move as one.
Discover the art of simplicity at the King's Summer Sale. Save up to 50% on Australian design. So why buy ordinary furniture when you can come home to King? Sale ends Sunday.
This weather report is brought to you by the King's Summer Sale. Ends Sunday.
Hello again. Now, cool start to February continues tomorrow, but there are warmer days on the horizon. In the city, we began on 13. It only reached a top of 20. Inland suburbs were a touch higher, 22s and 24. But all of this is well below the February average. If you were up at dawn, it was quite a spectacular sight. But that cloud just thickened into a grey day. We had a cool wind change that hit in the middle of the day, and the timing of that is driving what's happening in Victoria. That change is now up to Wangaratta through to Bairnsdale. Ahead of that line, we're seeing warm, humid air leading to thunderstorms and now areas of rain. Severe thunderstorms in New South Wales. Wagga Wagga picked up 42 millimetres in a short time. The storms now are severe in Victoria's far east. We've got heavy rain in there and areas of rain in behind it. Cyclone Lucas has formed well off the coast of Queensland. We're watching a tropical low that is over in the northwest. The environment is in an active phase of La Nina this week. So the trough in Victoria's east can bring heavy rain, and so can the low that is forming nearby. But the rest of the state has this high overhead. Tonight, thunderstorms and rain continue in the far east thanks to that trough. There is the risk of heavy falls. Drizzle develops over the remaining south, while the rest are dry. The trough pushes a bit more wet weather into far east Gippsland tomorrow. Then the low could increase that as it comes in on Wednesday. But that low is well offshore, so the rain here is not torrential. The next trough and low come in from the west late in the week. They'll take that tropical moisture and bring another round of soaking rain. I'll keep you updated on which parts are in the path of this heavy rain. And as you can see in through here, Melbourne is a chance at the moment. Around the nation tomorrow, thunderstorms rolling across Canberra, Sydney and Brisbane, possibly heavy. Dry in Hobart and Adelaide. Perth continues hot and sunny. To Victoria, by dawn it is dry across the north, a sunny and mild day ahead. Areas of morning drizzle in the south, then cloudy but generally dry. We're expecting lots of showers to come into East Gippsland there. Closer in, there are areas of drizzle overnight and in the morning, mainly away from the coast up near the ranges. It is dry though all afternoon, but the sky should remain quite cloudy, that white overhead there. So the city has a cloudy day tomorrow. There's the chance of drizzle in the morning. Another cool one, a top of 19. Now these temperatures here really wouldn't be out of place in winter. To the 8-day outlook, here is the sunshine. 2 days of it on Wednesday and Thursday. About 23 on Wednesday, high 20s in outer suburbs. The heat arrives on Thursday. Then there is our next big wet day, 27, humid, areas of rain and thunderstorms. Another cool one tomorrow, just 19, cloudy all day. We've got areas of drizzle. They're just in the morning, Mitch.
And another wet Friday on the way.
It is indeed.
Thank you, Jane. And that's the way it is this Monday, the 1st of February. Thanks for your company. For now, from the 7 News team, good night.